Hello everybody, this is Joseph Norman. This is our 6th lesson with pure data for our digital music making class. Today we will be building a phase modulation synthesizer. We will be adding a voltage control filter to it, and then we will be creating some probabilistic structure. So, to begin, we want to first save our file. Alright, we'll title this one Lesson 6. After that, let's go ahead and get to the synthesizer portion. So we're going to create a new file, a new patch, and then we will save this one as lesson 6 pm.cl.pd. Alright. And the first step here, let's go ahead and create our inlet. Underneath of that, let's create an M to F. We will create an oscillator. And then we're going to create an add signal box. After that, on this end, we're going to create an oscillator with a signal multiplier. We'll attach our oscillator to the signal multiplier. At this point, you'll see that it looks very similar to frequency modulation. And then after this, we will create a cosine tilde object. Okay, so then following this, we're going to create a new object and we're going to say, oops, we don't want it to go under there. Okay, so we'll create a new object, receive, and we will say freq mod. And then we'll feed that into this oscillator, which is our modulation wave. And then we're going to create another receive for index, and this is going to be the depth of our modulation here. We'll feed that into this signal multiplier. Okay, so this is basically the essence of our phase modulation unit. After this, let's go ahead and create our attack and release envelopes here. So let's go ahead and create a pack object, pack 1,500, and then delay 500, and then pack 0 500. We'll feed our delay, of course, into the pack 0, and then we're going to create a v-line tilde, and then we'll feed both of those here. Okay, and then that's going to go into a signal multiplier. So now we have our envelope generator portion of the patch for the synthesizer. And now let's create our Vcf filter. Vcf tilde with 1. Okay. And then we'll feed our cosine into the left inlet of that. And the middle inlet, and this is going to be the frequency that is the center frequency either for the bandpass, which will be coming out of the left outlet, or the cutoff frequency for the low pass, which comes out of the right outlet. Today we're going to be using the bandpass filter. Alright, so the first thing that we want to do here is we actually want to copy our pack 1 delay and pack 0 in V-line. We're going to add a multiplier, a single multiplier, let's say times 1000, and attach that there. And then what we want to do is create another multiplier object, this time not with single, just a multiplication object, and we'll say times 1. And then what we want to do is we want to actually take our frequency, so we're going to create a TFF object. And so we're going to use our frequency that we're sending in through this inlet to sort of guide our filter. So we'll place that there. And then we're going to put that into the right inlet. And then we're going to create another new receive object, receive, and we're going to say filter freq. And so this way, what we're going to have coming in will be a multiple of the frequency, of the base frequency that's coming in, our fundamental frequency, basically, that's going to be coming in through this inlet. Okay, so then let's feed that here into this middle inlet, And then the right inlet for the VCF is essentially the Q. So we can just create a receive Q, right, which is essentially, it will attenuate these sidebands of whatever frequency is being sent in, of whatever frequency spectrum is being fed into the VCF. Okay, so we have that. Let's go ahead and attach here. Okay, and actually what we want to have here, let's make it a TFF. We'll delete that. We'll have this rightmost outlet going here to this multiple for the filter frequency, but we actually want to also be using multiples for our modulation frequency. That'd be handier. So let's do ×1, frequency modulation going into the right inlet, and then this outlet here, and then the middle inlet of the TFFF going there. Perfect. After that, let's create a receive attack, and then a receive release, and then we're going to create a TFFFF for our attack, and we're going to send one to the right inlet of pack 1 there, and then the next to the right inlet of our delay, and then we're going to send one to the right inlet of that pack, and one to the right inlet of that delay, and then our release will have a TFF, and we're going to put the left inlet to the right inlet of that pack, 0, and we're going to put the right inlet to the right inlet of that pack, 0. Cool. Now, what we want to do with our inlet here is we want to create a trigger frequency to send to the MTF, but we also want to send a couple of bangs. So we're going to create a TF, B, and B, B, B. Great. So our first frequency is going to M to F, and then we'll send a bang to pack 1, a bang to delay 500, a bang to this pack 1, and a bang to this delay 500. And then we will create an outlet tilde. Very good. All right, and then let's go ahead and save this. And let's close it. And then we're going to create clone lesson 6 pm.cl 64. And let's go ahead and save. Okay, excellent. We will be adding in our metronome. Metro, let's just say 250 for the moment. We're going to create a toggle box and feed that into our metronome. Let's go ahead and move that over here for the moment. And we're going to begin building our counter. So first, we start off with an integer. Then we create a +1. Integer goes into the the left inlet of +1, and then at +1 will go into the right inlet of integer. Down here we'll create a modulus, and we'll say, in this case, 4, modulus 4. Okay, and then we're going to create a number box to go there, and then let's create our select, and we'll say select 4, or 0, 1, 2, 3, basically. Okay, and then let's go ahead and copy that. Cool. So we'll put this here. So then we're going to create some messages to correspond with some MIDI numbers and some durations. So let's say 48, then 65, then let's say 70, and then 76. Here we go. And then we'll attach those here. Okay. And then on this end, we'll create some durations. So let's say 500, and let's say 250, and then let's say 500, and then say 750. Okay, so we will attach those here. And then we will feed these back to our metronome. Okay, and then we're going to create our next $1, and then we will attach that here. Okay, and then after we attach those, we're attached next to clone. From our metronome, let's create a trigger bang bang. Trigger bang bang. We will attach that to our integers. Okay, and then after that we need to create some vertical sliders, so let's go ahead and do that. So we'll create our attack and release sliders first. So let's say 20 to 4000 logarithmic, that, send attack. We will duplicate that again, and then we'll change it to send to release. Okay, and then we want to create a vertical slider, and then this one will be 0.1 to 2 logarithmic, send it to a number, then we'll send it to a send freak mod. Okay, and then we're going to create another vertical slider. Okay, and this one will be 0.1 to 2 logarithmic, and command 3, and we'll send this one to index. And then we're going to create another vertical slider, and this one will be from 1 to 10 logarithmic, and this will go to filter freak. And then let's just copy that one, we'll just duplicate it, and we'll send this next one, the 1 to 10, to our queue. Perfect. Okay, after this, let's go ahead and create a signal multiplier. Let's say 0.1, and then we're going to send this to our DAC. Okay, let's go ahead and make sure that our DSP is turned on. We'll give it some preset attack release, give it some longer releases, set the freak mod there, give it a little bit of an index, set the filter frequency up some randomly, create the cue there, and let's hear what this sounds like. That attenuates there. Excellent. All right, that's the next stage of our patch complete. All right, for the next portion of our patch, we're going to be combining our counter module with a random object. So let's go ahead and just duplicate this for now. And now let's change this select to only send output when it gets the number 3. And then let's go from this select 0, 1, 2, 3, okay, this outlet here, and attach it. So now it will only send a bang to this integer whenever it gets to the end of this particular sequence. And so now when it gets to the 4th sequence, when that completes, it'll send a bang out through this select 3. So let's create a trigger bang bang, and attach that. And then we're going to attach one bang to deactivate the metronome over here. And then we're going to create a random object and say random2. So now, random2 will send an output when it receives the bang from this select, and it will output either a 0 or a 1. So now we can create a select 0, 1. So now we have a 50-50 dice roll, and we can create a subsection here using the same format here with a metronome for either a B or a C section. So let's go ahead and copy all of this stuff. Let's try that again. And we'll duplicate, and we're going to move that here, and then let's duplicate again and move that here. And we'll have this metronome get activated if it receives a 0, and we'll have this metronome activated if it gets a 1. Okay? Let's see where that's coming from. Okay? And then let's just move these around a little bit more. Alright, and then let's go ahead and create another counter module for this one, and we'll duplicate and create a counter module for this one. So now we'll attach this selector in the same way that we did the last one, and so this time when it reaches the end of a sequence, it'll deactivate that metronome and reactivate that one. And then this one, let's go ahead and do the same thing. We'll attach this here, and when that one completes its sequence, it will deactivate that metronome and reactivate that one. Okay. So now let's go ahead and just change our numbers a little bit so we have some structural delineation. So let's do a transposition and retrograde of this one. So 77, 71, 66, 49. Let's do a rhythmic diminution here, 250, 125, 250, 375. And then let's do a transposition and a change of intervals on this one. So we'll say 47, and then 53, 58, 65, and an augmentation on the rhythms here. So 1,000, 500, 1,000, and then 1,500. Okay, and so let's attach this next here to the clone, and then this next to the clone. Whoops. And now let's go ahead and play and see what happens. Paying attention to this counter here. Okay, now this section is activated. So 1, 2, and then on 3 it should go back to this one. Okay. Let's make some changes to have fun. Okay, back here.